Chapter 31. I haven't been inside the storage closet since the morning Mom tracked me down here. I go in, the shame from betraying the secrecy of the hideout fills me up again. But something in my gut is telling me to check the place now. The hideout was my safe place when I needed it. What if somehow it's been Ziggy's safe place all this time, too? I go to the back of the closet and find the door in the floor. But then I remember that Carlos put a new lock on it and I don't have the key. I crouch down on the floor and place my ear against the door, hoping I can hear something on the other side. Ziggy is whimpering, the jingle of his collar, or any other doggy sounds. But I can't hear anything. I stand up and rush out to the hallway and the lobby where some people are still hanging around eating pizza. Carlos, I shout. Where's Carlos? What's going on? Mom asks. I'm here, Carlos says from one of the couches. He's holding a slice of pepperoni pizza. Can I borrow the key to the hideout, the room below the storage closet? I ask. For a second, I need to see something. Dad moves to stand next to me. The hideout, you know it's off limits. I know, but I need to see something. I think Ziggy might be down there. Everyone's looking at me now, confused. What? Mom asks. How would he have gotten down there? It's a gut feeling. I look at Carlos again. Please, can I check? You can come with me. All right, but I'll be the one to go down there, Carlos says, in case it's not safe. Deal. I follow Carlos toward the storage closet, and Elena, Miles, and Oliver are right behind. Uh-huh, I hear Miles' mom say. You aren't going down there. I'm not, Miles says. We all stand in the hallway while Carlos goes inside the closet. I peer in as he disappears around the corner where the hideout entrance is. I guess everyone's curious, because soon the whole hallway is full of the people from our search party. Even May, who's leaning against another neighbor for support. Everyone gets quiet as they wait to see what will happen next. I hope my instinct is right and I'm not getting anyone's hopes up. There's the sound of keys jingling on a keyring, and then a lock opening. The hideout door makes a familiar creak, and then a light bang as it hits the wall. Then there are footsteps while Carlos walks down the stairs. My heart beats so fast and loud, it's like I won't be able to hear anything else. But then there's a bark. It's not very loud, but I definitely hear it. And then I hear it again. Carlos says, Dios mío, Ziggy? I don't care what my parents say. I immediately run to the back of the closet and down the stairs. There is Ziggy, laying down on a beanbag chair next to the bookshelf. He looks weak and like he can't get up. His harness and leash are still on. Oh my gosh, Ziggy. I sit next to him. I almost burst into tears from how happy I am to see him. I think he's hurt, Carlos says, and he's probably dehydrated. I'll go get some water and tell May we found him. I still have a baggie of dog treats in my pocket, so I take it out. I hold a treat out to him and he immediately eats it and then licks my hand. I give him the rest. I can't believe I was right. How did you get down here? I look around and see the open window at the top of the wall. It's right above the bookshelf. He must have climbed in that way, and then maybe he jumped onto the beanbag chair. Maybe that's how he hurt himself. But why would he come this way? Why not wait to the front door for someone to let him in? I try to think of some reasons. Maybe he didn't make it back here until it was late, when nobody was around. Could he have been here since the night he was lost? I wish you could tell me what you went through, I tell Ziggy as I gently rub his head. I'll never know the full story of how he got down here, but I'm so glad he's here and he's safe. A minute later, Carlos is back with water, and my dad is right behind him. Wow, he says when he sees Ziggy. I think he climbed in through that window, I say. He found his way home after all. He needs to see a vet, Dad says, concern written all over his face. Is there something we can use as a small stretcher? I don't want to hurt him worse by carrying him upstairs myself. I'll go find something, Carlos says. While he goes, I open the bottle of water Carlos brought down and slowly pour some out near Ziggy's mouth so he can lick it up. He drinks half the bottle. Carlos comes back with a laundry basket and towel. He puts the towel in the basket and places it on the floor. It was the only thing I could think of. Let's move him into this and bring him upstairs. May can't wait to see him. Dad carefully lifts Ziggy. He whimpers at first, but once he's in the basket, he stops. Then Carlos lifts the laundry basket and carries it upstairs. As soon as everyone sees Carlos walk out to the closet with Ziggy, they cheer. They give him space as he walks Ziggy out onto the lobby where May is sitting on a couch. He puts the basket next to her, and Ziggy tries to jump out to greet her. But then he yelps in pain and lays back down. Oh, Ziggy, my poor baby. May takes Ziggy's face in her hands and leans over to rest her head against his. Ziggy licks her hand over and over as she pets him. When May sits up again, she wipes a tear from her eye. I'm so glad you're okay. We're going to get you checked out, all right? You're safe now. The whole room is quiet. Watching May and Ziggy reunite is the best feeling ever. Thank you, Joy, May says, and my body gets all warm. The only thing that would make this moment more perfect is if Nora were here to share it with me. May calls her the vet to see if she can get an emergency appointment to have Ziggy checked out. Meanwhile, everyone else either heads home or goes back to eating pizza and talking. The mood is much happier now that Ziggy is here. I go over to where Miles, Oliver, and Elena are standing. Thanks for coming today, I say. I can't believe Ziggy was down in the hideout, Miles says before taking a huge bite of cheese pizza. Seriously, Elena says. To think that if we were still hanging out down there, we would have found him sooner. Her words are a slap in the face. Sorry, Elena says quickly. I forgive you. It's fine, I say. Ziggy's safe now, Oliver says. That's what matters. Right, Elena says. By the way, where's Nora? She should be here too. Yeah, where is she? Oliver repeats. I invited her, I say, but we sort of got into a fight before Ziggy got lost. She's mad at me. That stinks, Miles says. But you're right, I say. Someone should tell her that Ziggy is safe. I'll be right back. This could be my chance to get Nora to talk to me again, so we can fix our friendship. I ask Mom if it's okay if I run up to Nora's apartment to tell her, and she says it's fine. I take the elevator up and knock on Nora's door. My mind races as I try to think of what to say if she answers. A minute later, Felix opens the door. Hi, Joy, he says. Hi, can I speak to Nora? Come on in. He steps to the side so I can walk into the apartment. She's in her room, so I'll go check with her. Normally, he'd tell me to go straight back to the room, so he must know about our fight. I stand by the door, rocking back and forth on my heels as I wait. A minute later, Felix comes back out. I'm sorry, he says. Nora's tired and doesn't want to talk right now. Oh, okay. All the excitement about finding Ziggy is replaced with dread. Can you tell her that we found Ziggy? He's okay. That's great news, Felix says. I'm sure Nora will be thrilled to hear that. Just not thrilled to hear that I stopped by. I say goodbye and head back downstairs, where my parents and everyone are still eating pizza. You tell her? Miles asks when he sees that I'm back. She was busy, so I told her dad, I say. Cool. I need pizza. I grab a slice and take a bite, but the lump in my throat makes it hard to swallow. That night, when I'm getting ready for bed, I think about Nora again. I need to convince her to talk to me. I could make a long list of all the things I miss about her, like talking about our favorite movies and exploring the building and taking walks in the park with or without the dogs. I miss having her as a friend. I let her down and I'm desperate to make it up to her. But how? I think about everything I know about her, what matters the most to her, her family, her screenplay. I told her that I would help her with her music score, but the music usually comes after the filming, and she hasn't done that yet. Plus, I still need to learn how to play the piano. I think some more about everything Nora and I have talked about, and the solution is obvious. There's one thing that Nora and our other friends want back, one thing that will make us all happy again: the hideout. Chapter 32. If my plan is going to work, I need Elena, Miles, and Oliver to help. Mom lets me have my phone back for good, so I send them a group text on Sunday morning. Me. I want to figure out how to get the hideout back. Can you meet up at 4? It only takes a few seconds for the first text to appear. Miles. I'm in. Where? Oliver. Me too. Elena. Thumbs up. Me. Yay. Me. Let's meet. I stopped typing. Where should we meet? Normally I'd say the hideout because it's the only place in the building where we can be alone. Then I think of someplace else. Me. Let's meet in the basement by the trash chute. I tell my mom that I'm meeting up with the other kids downstairs and we'll be back in an hour. But before I take the elevator to the basement, I go next door to check on May and Ziggy. Hi, Joy, May says when she opens the door. She looks happier than I've seen her in a while. I came to see how Ziggy's doing, I say, after his vet appointment. Come in and see for yourself. She turns around, walking carefully with her cane. I close her front door and follow her. She leads me into her bedroom, where Ziggy is laying on her bed, surrounded by pillows. He's asleep, so I stand at the doorway so I won't disturb him. His back leg is wrapped up, and he's wearing a fabric cone around his neck. It's yellow, and it makes Ziggy look like a sunflower. I smile. The vet gave him painkillers, so he's a little drowsy, May says in a low voice. The good news is he didn't break his leg. It's only a fracture. The vet says he should be back to running around like a normal soon enough. That's great. I got him a fabric cone so he can be more comfortable. Plus, it's cute. She laughs quietly. I really missed him. I know, I say. I'm so glad he's home. The vet said he was quite dehydrated. I'm not sure how much longer he could have survived down in that room. I'm so glad you thought to check there. Me too. Can I come by again when he's awake? May gives a warm smile. Anytime. I say goodbye and head down to the basement. The other kids will be there soon. As I'm about to walk from the elevator to the trash chute room at the other end of the hall, I notice the door to another room. I peek inside. Natural light comes through a tall window and shows a dusty room full of random junk. Boxes, discarded furniture, metal folding chairs. It's nothing special, just a regular basement room. I turn off the light and leave. The elevator dings, and out walks Miles, Oliver, and Elena. We all got in the same elevator, Oliver explains. I smile. Follow me. I lead them down the hall to the room where Nora and I talked to Carlos that time he was fixing the trash chute. Elena looks around and pinches her nose. Why'd you pick this place? It almost smells as bad as my brother's room after soccer practice. Because we can be alone here, I say. Can we open this door? Oliver walks up to the door that leads to outside. It has a small glass window. We probably shouldn't, I say. I'll make this quick. We want to use the hideout again, right? Even if it's not a secret anymore, we should try to convince our parents to let us hang out there so we can still have a place to go when we need our own space. How will we convince them? Miles asks. That's what we need to figure out, I say. When Nora and I wanted to walk dogs, we got our parents together and shared a presentation with reasons why we thought they should give us permission. Maybe we could do something like that. Know what I think? Oliver asks. We have to talk to Carlos first. He's the one with the key. If he says it's okay to be down there, that would help us convince our parents that it's okay too. You're right, I say. Let's go talk to Carlos. Now? Miles asks. What do you think, Elena? I ask, noticing she hasn't said anything since complaining about the smell. Anything to get away from this trash. I hope the smell isn't sticking to me. I can tell she's not breathing through her nose. I laugh. Let's go see if he's home. A minute later, Carlos greets us at his door. We want to talk to you about the hideout, I say. His eyebrows wrinkle. The hideout? Yeah, the room where we found Ziggy, I say. Ah, yes. How can we convince you to open it up and let us hang out there again? Miles asks, straight to the point. I like his style. Carlos frowns. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. Why not? Elena asks. I promise we weren't doing anything bad down there. We were playing games and stuff. And can we can stop drawing on the walls, Oliver says, even though I can tell he doesn't want to. Yeah, if you want us to paint over that, we can, I add. It's not that, Carlos says. It's about safety. That room. I talked to the building owner about it, and even she didn't know about it. She only bought the property 8 years ago, though, and I've only been here for 5 years. Anyway, the room isn't up to code. What's that mean? Miles asks. There are certain requirements for spaces in the apartment building, Carlos explains. If that room is only being used for storage, then nothing needs to be done. But if you want to spend time down there, it needs to have an exit to outside in case of a fire. The stairs lead back to the closet aren't enough. But there's a window, I say. Ziggy got in that way. Right, but that window is small, Carlos says. It was fine for Ziggy to fit through, and maybe a small child, but not big kids like you, or an adult, if someone needed to come rescue you in an emergency. I'm glad nothing bad happened when you were down there. Can you install a larger window? Miles asks. I wish I could, but it's up to the owner, and those upgrades cost money. How much money? I ask, thinking of my dog walking earnings. It's not a lot, but maybe I could contribute. I don't know exactly, but my guess is at least $1,000 between the materials and the labor, maybe more. Dang, that's a lot of money, Miles says, what we're all thinking. The owner's not going to pay for that, Carlos says. She's conservative with her spending and usually only wants to pay for repairs and such. It took her a while to finally renovate the lobby. I'm sorry, my hands are tied. Next to me, Elena sighs. Thanks anyway. We say goodbye and go into the lobby. Oliver collapses onto one of the couches. It was worth a shot. Elena sits next to him. Yeah, at least we tried. I'm too antsy to sit. No, I say, I'm not giving up yet. You heard Carlos, Miles says. The owner won't pay. I know, it's just there's got to be some other way, I say. I know you feel guilty about what happened, and we were pretty terrible to you. I admit that, Elena says. But we'll still be your friend even if we don't get the hideout back. I know, I say. But will Nora be my friend again? I should probably head home, Miles says. Me too, Oliver says. Same, Elena says. But if you come up with any other ideas, keep us posted. Thanks, guys, I say. I need to think. This was only the first part of my plan to save my friendship with Nora, and already I've hit a large hurdle. I'm angry at myself all over again for leading my mom to the hideout in the first place. It was the one place in this building where I felt at home. The hideout was there when I needed to get away from my parents' arguments, when I needed a place to be alone. It was the place where I could have fun with my new friends, and the place where I could write notes and open up to Nora. It was our secret refuge, and now it's really gone, forever. An idea comes to me in the middle of the night. It's like my brain was figuring it out, putting the pieces together while I was in deep sleep. And once it's fully formed, it wakes me up. I might have the answer to winning back Nora's friendship. Chapter 33. I get ready faster than normal so I can talk to Carlos before school. But first I go back down to the basement to look at the room next to the elevator again, the one that's full of junk. What if it could be a new hideout? The basement's empty, like the other times I was here. It seems like nobody comes down here except for Carlos sometimes. It makes this room even more perfect. The other kids and I could still come down here when we want to hang out without our parents around. Nobody would bother us. I turn on the lights and look around the room. I don't know for sure that the bigger window means it's up to code or whatever, but Carlos would know. Then, if we got permission from the owner to use the space, we could fix it up. My mom could help. She watches so much HGTV, she'd know exactly what to do. Then my friends and I would have a new space, safe space to hang out in together. I try to imagine it with all the boxes and junk gone and set up like the hideout. It's got even more space for our bookshelf, rug, and beanbag chairs. It's kind of dusty mess right now, but so are a lot of the before rooms on the home improvement shows Mom watches. Excitement bubbles up inside me as I realize that this could actually work, but only if Carlos and the building owner agree to it. Good morning, Joy, Carlos says as he opens his door. I don't have a second to waste, so I get straight to the point, like Miles did last night. Morning. I want to ask you about the empty room down in the basement, right near the elevator. I saw some old furniture in there. Is it being used for storage or something? I ask. Carlos's forehead wrinkles. Not officially. A lot of that junk needs to go in the trash. Some of it was stuff from before we renovated the lobby. This was great news. If nobody is using the room for anything, do you think it could be made into a new space for kids to hang out in? It has a bigger window, so that means it's safe, right? The basement rooms are up to code, yes, Carlos says. But like I said before, I'm not sure the owner would want to pay to fix it up. What if my parents and friends helped clean it out? I could pay for the paint and supplies with my dog walking money. If you don't need it, we could even reuse some of the furniture that's in there. Then this project wouldn't cost the owner anything. Carlos looks at me with a curious expression. Why are you so interested in doing this? Does it have anything to do with why I haven't seen you and Nora together lately? Something like that, I say. Please, this is really important to me. Well, I'd still have to get the owner's approval, Carlos says. But I'll let her know she won't have to pay for the paint or anything. That could be enough to convince her. Thank you so much, Carlos smiles. You're welcome. You're a good friend. I'm trying, I say. You'll tell me as soon as you hear back from the owner? You'll know as soon as I hear something. I head outside with a huge smile on my face. But when I get close to the bus stop, I freeze. Elena, Miles, Oliver, and Nora are standing together, like normal. I'm dying to go over there and tell Elena, Miles, and Oliver about my new plan, but I can't tell them in front of Nora. Not to mention, Nora still doesn't want anything to do with me. So how can I go over there at all? I guess I'm stuck standing halfway down the block alone again. I sit on the curb and take out my headphones. The first song that comes up in the movie score playlist is from Jurassic Park, the same song I was listening to that first time I talked to Nora in the elevator. As I listen, I try to think positive thoughts. My new plan will work. Nora and I will be friends again, and soon I'll get to hang out with all my friends at the bus stop and in the new hideout. Until then, I have to be patient and strong. After school, I take the manila envelope out of my desk drawer and count my dog walking money. I have $110, which isn't that much, but it'll have to work. The main thing we'll need is paint, since we can reuse the other stuff from the original hideout. I open the Notes app on my phone and create a new list. Basement room makeover. Get rid of the junk and furniture we don't need. Clean up and get rid of all the dust. Paint the walls. Move everything over from the original hideout. I'm glad the last day of school is this week, so I won't have anything else to distract me. That night, while I'm eating dinner with Mom and Malia, there's a knock on our door. I'll get it, I say. When I look through the peephole, Carlos is on the other side. Hi, Joy, Carlos says when I open the door. He waves to my mom and Malia. Sorry to interrupt your dinner. Is that curry? It smells great. Hi, Carlos, Mom says. What brings you here? I came to give Joy some news, Carlos says. The owner agreed to let you fix up the room, as long as she doesn't have to spend any extra money. Oh my gosh, that's amazing, I say. Thank you. No problem, Carlos grins. Let me know how I can help. Can you get rid of the stuff we don't need down there? I ask. Sure. I'll move the boxes to a storage closet. And I'll look into whether a donation company can pick up the rest. When I get back to my seat at the table, Mom asks, What was that about? I know we can't have the hideout back and about lying to our parents about where and that lying to our parents about where we were was wrong, I say. But I was thinking, what if there was another space in the building where we could just hang out? A space that all the parents know about, but it'll still be just for kids. I explain how I found the room in the basement and how Carlos said it wasn't being used for anything. Interesting, Mom says. Is that okay with you? I ask. I mean, if it's in the building and I know where you'll be, then I guess that's okay, Mom says. I grin. Can I go too? Malia asks. When you're older, I say. It's going to be for a space for the older kids to hang out. That's not fair, and you know it. Malia crosses her arms. It's all the way in the basement, I tell her. There might even be spiders down there. Her eyes get wide. Spiders? Oh, actually, never mind. I turn to Mom. Will you help me with fixing up the rooms? You're so good at interior design stuff. Mom's face lights up. I'd love to help. There's one condition. I'm paying for the paint supplies and stuff with my dog walking money. Are you sure? You're supposed to use that money for yourself. I know, I say, but I want to do this. After dinner, I text Elena, Miles, and Oliver and explain everything. I ask if they can help clean up and paint the basement room over the next few days. They immediately text back and agree. Hideout number 2 is officially underway.